So much to be thankful for this time of year, even when it comes to politics, believe it or not. In a new op-ed by former George W. Bush speechwriter Mark Thiessen, says the thing he's very thankful for this year is that Hillary Clinton is not president, writing, quote, "This Thanksgiving, I'm grateful for many things, but when it comes to politics, I'm especially thankful that Hillary Clinton is not sitting in the Oval Office. I'm thankful that Neil Gorsuch is on the Supreme Court and that President Trump has secured a conservative majority that will protect human life, religious liberty, the Second Amendment, and limited government." Let's bring in our panel. Chuck Rocha, Democratic strategist, president of Solidarity Strategies. And Julie Kelly is a contributor at National Review. Happy Thanksgiving and welcome to both of you.
Thanks, Ed.
Chuck, I got to start.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Appreciate that. Chuck, got to start with you. What's wrong with being thankful?
I think that you can be thankful if you think outside of the box if you're a Democrat. And Democrats, stay with me now. Don't blow up my Twitter account. But it may be a good thing that Hillary's not in the White House, because in off-year elections, the party that's not in power normally wins a lot of elections. So if Hillary Clinton would have won the presidency, we probably would have lost even more seats in the House and more seats in the Senate, where now we have a chance, at least by the numbers and historical data, to have a chance to win back some of those seats. I know that's going to upset a lot of Democrats when it comes to policy and disagreeing with the president, but from pure politics, it's going to be a good thing for Democrats for the long term.
Julie, do you think that Chuck has a point there? Because on the other hand, to me, Democrats have shown very little signs that they're using this time in the wilderness to rebuild their party.
They're not. It's only all about Trump all the time. And that might have worked in the Virginia elections, but I can say being here in Illinois and surrounded by other states that went for Donald Trump, that's not going to play here. They need to come up with some policy, some strategy, and they don't have it. So I don't think it's going to be as advantageous as Chuck thinks that it will be.
Chuck, I want to get one more point in from Mark Thiessen. In the op-ed, he wrote, "I want the president to fill the courts with conservative judges, reform the tax code, take on North Korea, counter Iran, defeat Islamist radicalism, roll back the regulatory state, expand school choice, and protect the unborn." And I'm thankful that because of his election, we are making progress on these fronts and that Clinton is hawking books for a living. A, as a Democrat, do you want Hillary Clinton to finally get off the stage? And B, is your biggest nightmare that if this president can pull it together and get reelected, it's not just going to be Neil Gorsuch. He's going to remake the high court and a lot of other federal courts for a generation.
Ed, I think you're exactly right. Democrats have to find a motivation to make sure that that don't happen. And I was part of Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign for 13 months and have seen a whole group of Americans who've come of age under Barack Obama, who now Donald Trump is their president, who want to be involved. But Democrats, as Julie said, we can't continue to do the same old thing we've always done, or we're always going to get what we've always gotten, which ain't that good here recently. We have to change the way that we do campaigns. And I think that as a political consultant who's talked to thousands of people every day all across the country, we need to have a clear, defining message to distinguish ourselves from Donald Trump, but also say what we stand for.
And to do that, do you need to get Hillary Clinton off the stage?
I think that that's going to be a part of it. I think our whole leadership is the average of 77 years old, and I think it's time for a new day in the Democratic Party.
Julie, I want to get you in here because I pressed him about Hillary Clinton, but what about the Republican Party and the state of the GOP right now? That list from Mark Thiessen includes tax cuts, of course, important, but also at some point getting back to repealing and replacing Obamacare. This has not been a stellar year for this Republican Congress.
I mean, I think that everybody was kind of in a little bit of a tailspin, to say the least, after President Trump was elected. I think they're finding their footing a little bit, and I do think that the Virginia elections were a good sign for Republicans in Congress. I mean, Donald Trump is far more popular with the Republican base than the Republican Congress is. And if they want a repeat of the Virginia elections, then don't pass tax cuts, make sure you don't reform Obamacare, don't fulfill a lot of the promises that you've made, and that's what you'll end up with. So I think that to that
as a wake-up call, you mean?
Oh, I absolutely do. And I hope that it was a wake-up call, that they understood that it was not necessarily directed at Donald Trump, but that's what they can look for if they continue to fail to promote and push policies that they have for the last 10 years. Look, I've been a Republican for 30 years. I've heard for decades about Republicans wanting to reduce the size, scope, and cost of government, reducing federal regulations, rolling back the tax code, simplifying it. And you actually have a president now who's doing that, and he's calling out some established Republicans who have also said that and have failed to do it.
Julie, you're absolutely right. The voters are watching. This is a golden opportunity for the Republican Party. We'll see if they blow it or not. Julie, Chuck, we're thankful you both came in.
Thanks, Ed.
Good to
Thank
see
you.